Hello everyone, welcome to Kennebunkpond Pond Maple Farm channel. So as you can see behind me, it is warm out. I'm sure the maple trees are running and I am not. We got buried by like 2.5 feet of snow last week and now everything's melting. So I'm hurrying up, I'm moving. I got a lot of prep work to do. I got to prep my buckets for hanging, and I got to get all my stuff going. So I'm going to take you along with some of the things that I do need to get done to get ready. All right, come along. So this year I'm making a big change. These are the buckets that I have been using. They're a little harder to work with. They don't clean real well, and as you can see, they take up a ton of space. So what I'm moving now to is a 2.5 gallon bucket, and here is the lid for the 2.5 gallon bucket. So what I've got set up here is I got a step bit, which works really well on plastic, and I got the tubing to measure. So when I hang the buckets in the trees, this tubing's gonna go right through the hole. I'm gonna try to keep you along with me. This is gonna be tricky to film and to drill at the same time. Probably a horrible idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So here we go. I put a stop on the drill press. Put a stop on the drill press so I know the outside diameter is about a half an inch. So that is not half an inch at all. I gotta loosen that step. So now what I need to do is test it. Of course you can see that's not close. So what we gotta do is we've gotta raise the stop up some. Give myself a little more depth. I put it on block so I don't do a doofus move here and drop my step up bit right into my drill press. So let's see if that does better. So I finished my hole. As you can see, the tube's about a half an inch and it fits in nice and tight. On the bucket itself, and I'll show you a little later, I put like a small 1/4 inch hole in the back side. Some things I notice with the jugs, when you only put one hole in them, it actually, the sap coming out puts pressure inside of it if it's too tight, and so it actually, the sap stops running into the bucket. So what I'm going to do is I put a relief valve on the back side. All right, so I gyrated a couple things together. I have a tripod for my phone, which, you know, never thought I was going to need that. So let's just show you how this works out. So turn it on. I usually like to put it upside down first because then I go drill from both sides. Well, it's a nice clean hole. All the plastic that burrs up on the back side then gets cleaned out. Come back through this way. Get a hole. Piece of pipe. Slides right in. Now it's a nice tight fit, so that's gonna do is it's gonna stop so much. Oh, we're shaking like a bugger. Alright, maybe we'll do it again. Alright, well, maybe we'll try to get a better angle from the other bench here. But no, that's the basics of it. So we're gonna drill some more holes, and we're gonna keep drilling and drilling and drilling. We're not even gonna get through all of them today, but I'd like to get a couple trees tapped, probably in the swamp. I'll bring you out, show you how it's done. Maybe I'll bring some helpers out with me who need to get rid of a little bit of energy. All right. All right. I put the tripod on the floor. Thankfully, it doesn't vibrate like everything else. So it's really, really straightforward. One more time. Slide that bucket through there. Slide the lid, excuse me. Punch it through. Switch it over. Punch it through again. You got your half-inch hole. Real simple, straightforward. And coming in from both sides makes it really clean. And a regular drill bit actually makes more of a mess than a step-up hole. This just cuts, 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 and then boom, it's clean. No deburring needed. So, I'll bring you back when it's time to start drilling the buckets, and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right. So what I've done is I've prepped, I don't know, 65 or so of those lids. I still have a bunch more to do. Now we're working on the buckets. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm putting a, if you call it a valve or a breather hole or whatever you want to call it, in the top here. Here's my my step down bit again, and just making a small hole. So what that's going to do for me is it does two things. One thing, like when we talked about the pressure before, where the sap is being pushed in and all of a sudden it's got nowhere for the pressure to go, so the sap doesn't keep running into the bucket. That's one thing. The other thing is, if we can have these little breather holes in there, we could just dump out the buckets right through the lid holes. That'll be a lot faster than having to pull every cover off, I believe. So we're going to see how that goes, but we definitely need the breather so the sap doesn't stop up. So that's the end of the prepping of the buckets video. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to tap today, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Definitely tomorrow. So we'll definitely have some more video up of that when it comes up. Thank you.